Hi, I'm Jim from Tools and Machinery, and this is Chris. Today we are going to talk about the Vecturo, the Festool Vecturo, the multi-tool. You that watch these videos, you'll know I'm a Festool fan. Chris is not so much, so it's really impressive because Chris is going to run us through this tool.
Alright, so the Vecturo is Festool's multi-tool. It's fairly new, and it has a lot of really cool features. One thing it has is the variable speed, so you can turn it all the way down like other Festool tools. It has the variable speed and the plug-it system as well. So the variable speed, it can go from 11,000 oscillations per minute, and if you go all the way to the max speed, you can go up to 18,500. That's pretty cool. You know, cutting through different materials, sometimes you need to switch up the speed, change it for your different job applications, which is really nice. It's a very innovative system. The quick blade change, all you have to do is just move this lever, pop the pin out, grab the blade, put the blade back in, lock it down, and you're good to go. This also offers multiple positions, which is really helpful in different situations. Let's say you're trying to get into a tight cabinet or something, you can reach in and not have to worry about not having enough space. So you can reach in to really tight areas this way. Sometimes you just don't have the clearance to have it vertical like this, so you can reach into a cabinet or other tight spaces, or like this, and cut sideways into things where you just can't reach if the blade was straight forward. Another thing that really sold me on the Festool Vecturo, this multi-tool, is all the accessories. And honestly, this is one of the greatest things I've seen with multi-tools. So you have your plunge base, the adjustable foot, and you can also have the depth stop. So all these just click on. We'll go with the depth gauge first. So there's an arrow here and an arrow here and here, so you just line those up and rotate it over, and there's a green button right here you push in and you can rotate it to any position you need. And what's really great about this is it has a magnet base. You can kind of see it there, and so that way when you're trying to cut out very small holes and you're plunging down, it helps keep your blade in a very specific area. Gives you a nice, clean, accurate cut. You can plunge in with this. You have the rubber grip to help with traction, and so it doesn't mark your material. So you can see there's an arrow here, and here, and here. All you have to do is line the arrows up, and with this green button you can rotate it into the different locking positions to match the blades. Say you want it this way, you're in a tight area, but you need the plunge. You can lock it on this side, unlatch the blade, twist it around, then lock the blade in place, and you're good to go. The blade travels along this magnet here, keeping it nice and accurate, which is really useful and a great part of the Festool accuracy that they're known for. Alright, so what's great about this plunge base is just how applicable it can be. If you're into flooring, if you're cutting out holes in the drywall to put in electrical boxes, if you're a plumber, electrician, like I said, there's so many uses for this tool. You can make a square in your flooring or in the drywall, and all I have to do is just plunge down and get an accurate cut on each one and cut out exactly what you need. The next accessory that we'll be talking about is the depth stop. It's also another really handy tool for flooring guys, or really there's so many applications for these different accessories. One thing that I like about this is how you can use this for flooring. Let's say this is the trim around a door and this is the drywall, and you want to cut the trim out so you can put your wood flooring or your tile in, and you want to go up to the drywall, but you don't want to cut into the drywall or what's behind the trim. And so what you would do is you would put the depth gauge on as you would the other accessories, line the arrows up, twist it into position, you turn it off to the side, and with this green button you can adjust how deep you're cutting. And all you do is you just line it up so that your depth gauge stops right about where you're touching the drywall. Rotate it back into position. Put a scrap piece of your material, your wood flooring, your tile. Then you just start cutting in. So it would look similar to this. You'd be cutting in, and your depth gauge would stop you, and you would be right at that line with the drywall. The next accessory is the foot that you have here, also adjustable for depth. What's great about this is you can use it almost like a circular saw or like the Festool's TS series track saws, where you can cut along the base of something to get a nice clean cut. So in this instance, line the arrows up, twist it into position. And what's great with this accessory is with a blade like this, you can put the blade on, lock it into position, and then you can set your depth. Let's say you're trying to cut wood flooring, but you don't want to cut the underflooring. So you would adjust the depth to be just as thick as your material. So cut a little less. So you're right about there. And then all you have to do is just run the foot right along the edge and get a nice clean cut all the way across. So like I mentioned earlier, like most other Festool products, it has the plug-it system where you just plug the power cord into the tool, line it up, twist it in, and turn it on.
I'm sure Festool had a great hand in the design of the tool, but fine makes it. And you know, one of my customers pointed out to me that this makes sense. Festool requires you to buy all of their other accessories, so it only makes sense to be getting their accessories. But it's a little bit frustrating because in today's market, even Fine has adjusted their blades to where they fit anybody's tool. So you can buy a Fine, you can buy a Bosch, you can buy a Makita, you can buy a DeWalt, it doesn't matter. They all fit each other. And Festool went with a completely and totally different system. Those of you that have had an old Fine tool, we're talking 5 or 7 years ago, you should recognize that bit right there. That's the old Fine blade design or the attachment mechanism. So still a really great design, still a really good way to go, and maybe it's a little bigger than the Fine, but essentially it's just those big ones and you can't get them just anywhere. And that's normal for Fest, but it's just, I was a little disappointed in today's market. So with all that being said, I still think Festool did a great job. Christopher and I, like I said, we've had many a discussion about this tool, and having this, your plunge base, and customers and I have talked about this, this allows you to have a lot of precision that you won't get with any other tool, period. It doesn't matter what other brand you have. Other tools have depth stops, you know, like this, but I have not seen a foot like this on other tools. Maybe you guys know of one that's out there, but I haven't seen a foot designed just like that, and Christopher educated me on that tonight, which is really cool. But this and this are kind of your big differences with Fest. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks to Chris for being here with us to help guide us through this process, and for helping his attitude to maybe change a little bit about the greatness of Festool. So thank you very much, everybody. I hope you have a great night. Please let us know if you have questions or if we can help you. Thank you.